Hi, thanks for joining us today. I'm Kara.
And I'm Mary Beth.
And we're from the Office of International Services here at Governor State University. Today we're going to go over some information that you need to know in order to prepare for your visa interview and also as you're preparing to arrive here to campus. So let's start off with some information about the materials you're going to receive from our office.
Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need to do is gather all the documents that you need to take with you to your visa interview. So our office is going to send you an admissions packet, which will contain your letter of admission to Governor State University and your I-20 and some other documents that you'll need in order to prepare for student life at Governor State. When you receive that, make sure you check over your I-20 document very carefully. This is the most important document for your visa interview. You'll need to make sure that your name is spelled correctly and any other information is correct on it. So please make sure you check over the I-20 carefully when you receive it. You'll also need to pay your I-901 SEVIS fee. You can do that from the Study in the States website, and you can then print out a receipt for that payment. You will need that receipt for your visa interview. You should also gather your documents from GSU, your I-901 SEVIS fee receipt, your I-20, and your letter of admission. In addition to that, make sure that you have bank statements or other documents which prove your financial funding for your education at Governor State University. Normally those are bank statements or any other documents related to that. And proof of residency in your home country. You'll also need your passport, so make sure that you have that in a safe place as well. And then finally, we recommend that you check with the U.S. consulate or embassy that you'll be visiting in order to see if there's any other special requirements that they have for paperwork.
Great. Once you're ready with your materials and you've booked your visa interview appointment, then you will need to prepare yourself for the interview itself. Please refer to your admissions packet that your I-20 is in. In there, we do have a tips page for you, which offers some information similar to what we're covering today. It is very important that you relax for your visa interview and you prepare your answers to the different interview questions in advance. Please make sure you know why you chose GSU. What is it about Governor State that interested you? Why did you choose the major that you chose? What do you want to do with your career? How will studying here in the US and at GSU help you in your future and help you achieve your goals? Make sure that you talk about your clear intention to study. We know you may want to someday work in the US, but right now you're applying for a student visa. So you need to show the consular official that your primary reason for coming to the US is for your studies. So please make sure that you are able to discuss your study plan and do not talk about your intentions to stay in the US or work down the line. Right now, it's all about your studies. So now that you have practiced your answers and you're ready for your interview, you need to show up to the interview itself.
So I will talk a little bit about preparing for your interview day. We know that you might wake up a little bit nervous on that day. So we recommend that you just try to relax and be yourself. Allow plenty of time for travel to the U.S. consulate where your interview is scheduled. So we recommend that you even check traffic patterns and that sort of thing to make sure that you're not late for your interview. In many cases, it's difficult to obtain a visa interview slot, and you don't want to miss it by being late for your interview because of traffic or some other reason. So make sure you're prepared in that way. You should prepare to go through a security check once you arrive at the consulate. You will most likely have to pass through a metal detector and go through a fingerprinting. They will check any bags that you bring along with you. So we recommend actually that you don't carry with you bulky bags or backpacks or electronics. Those will most likely be separated from you as you enter the consulate. We recommend that you go to your interview by yourself. There's the family members that you may want to bring with you won't be permitted into the interview with you, so it's just better to go to the interview on your own. You should prepare yourself for a wait. Even though you may have a specific time assigned to you for your interview, it's possible that the official will be running late. So prepare for a little bit of a wait. And then once it finally is time for your interview, just be natural and yourself. Be as relaxed as it's possible, even though you may be very nervous. We recommend that you don't use a script for answering interview questions. It's better just to be yourself. The interview will probably be very short, maybe even just a couple of minutes, or 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. So be prepared, as Kara mentioned earlier, with your responses to questions so that you can answer in a clear and concise manner only to the questions that are asked. You don't need to offer additional information beyond what the official is asking you. Try to have good eye contact with the interviewer. Make sure that you have a pleasant expression on your face and have good eye contact. And dress accordingly for the interview in a professional manner. And finally, don't forget to bring your documents with you to the interview. We talked about those earlier, but you will be required to present those at the time of the interview. And now that you've had your interview, Kara's going to mention what you should do after the interview.
So as soon as your interview ends, chances are the consular officer is going to keep your passport. Do not be surprised or alarmed at this. The consular officer needs to keep your passport to allow time for processing of your visa. They will describe to you the manner in which you will receive your passport back. In a lot of cases, the passport is sent back to you by mail, but follow the consular officer's instructions and they will let you know what will happen. Also, be sure to follow any other instructions that the consular official gives you. If they are unable to finish your interview because they need more information, they will detail to you what they need. Please follow those instructions specifically. Make sure you gather any documentation they have asked for and provide it back in the manner in which they have told you to do so. In some cases, our students are subjected to security clearances or administrative processing. This sounds scary, but don't worry, it's a normal process. There are a lot of reasons why an individual can get pulled for security clearance or administrative processing. In these cases, the consular official does not have control over the actual processing or clearance itself. They will pass your case on to another official or government office that has requested the clearance. They are unable to tell you at the consulate exactly how long this processing or clearance process might take. Do not be worried. As I said before, it is a normal process. Sometimes it just takes a matter of a day or two, but other times it can last much longer. In these cases, it's difficult, but please try to remain patient. Let us know if you are having one of these issues, and keep us informed. Keep your department informed so that we can just be aware of what is happening. Unfortunately, we're not able to help speed the process up at all because it is a government agency performing the clearance or the administrative processing, but we do need to know what is happening. In most cases, the processing or the clearance is eventually resolved with a positive outcome and you receive the visa. Please make your travel plans after you receive the visa. If you make your travel plans before you receive the visa and you have a delay, then you could end up spending a lot of additional money to rearrange your flights or anything like that. So please make sure you wait for that. No matter what happens with your visa interview, please do let us know the outcome. You can email us at ois@govst.edu. Let us know whether you received the visa, whether the visa was denied, whether you're in a security clearance or administrative processing situation. Just keep us informed so we can know whether or not to expect you or when to expect you here at campus. Also, please remember that immunizations are required. There is information about this in the admission packet that you receive. So please follow those instructions. It is much better for you to get your immunizations at home where it's cheaper and faster. Have the immunization form filled out. You may submit the immunization form to GSU before you arrive on campus. It will make your arrival here much smoother, and you'll have less to do once you arrive. If you're not able to take care of the immunizations at home, you can get them done here in the US, but it will possibly delay your enrollment in classes. So I do advise you to take care of this as soon as possible. All right, and once you have gathered all your materials, you've gotten your visa back from the embassy, you are ready to plan for your arrival to campus.
So in order to arrive to campus, the first thing that you should do is check your admissions packet again, which contains orientation dates. And orientation for international students is required at GSU. It's mandatory. So please make sure that you're planning your travel in order to arrive to our campus, preferably a few days, a day or so before the orientation date, so that you have a chance to rest and acclimate to life in the United States for a day or two before attending orientation. And as I said, your packet materials will inform you of the date of that orientation. It's normally in the week before classes begin for the semester to which you've been admitted. We ask that you please do not arrive to campus late, meaning after the start of classes. It is required for you to attend orientation, so please book your flight accordingly. Another thing that you'll need to do is research transportation options to Governor State University's campus once you've arrived in the United States. You can contact our office using the same email address, ois@govst.edu, for suggestions once you've planned your flight information, and we can make some suggestions for you for transportation options. Also, you'll want to make sure that you arrange accommodations, at least for your first few nights in the United States, if you're not going to be living on Governor State's campus. We encourage you to check out residence options on campus, but if you'll be living off campus, make sure that you have either a temporary hotel or a place to stay with a friend or family member for the first few nights that you're in the United States. And if you will be living on Governor State's campus, make sure that you understand clearly the dates that you're allowed to move in, what the earliest check-in date on campus is. And all that information is available on the student housing website. So as you're planning, just make sure you're keeping in mind those important dates: orientation, the first day of classes, and any dates that apply to the housing that you might have. And now we'll turn it back over to Kara, who will help you with some packing tips.
Here in Illinois, we do have all 4 seasons. So it's important that you bring clothes for all 4 season types. Some of you may come from countries where the weather is warm or hot year-round, but that is not the case here at Governor State. We do have winter, and it can get pretty cold and snowy. So please pack accordingly. Bring some closed-toed shoes because you are going to need those when the snow starts to fall. Please do not bring only open-toe sandals. Your feet will not be happy. So please, please bring socks, bring closed-toe shoes, bring some long pants, long-sleeve shirts. If you don't have coats where you're from, we can get you some here when you arrive. We can help show you to some places that will have affordable winter clothing for you. Please also remember to bring any medications that you have. Any essential medications should be packed in your carry-on luggage and brought onto the plane with you. Please do not put them in your checked luggage in case your baggage is delayed for some reason. Most medications you will eventually be able to fill in the US, but you want to make sure you have plenty of your essential medications to get you started here while you get settled into life in the US. Also remember that if you're bringing any electronic items, you would need an appropriate converter or adapter in order to use those here. If you're unaware of whether or not you need a converter or adapter or what type you need, it's very easy to do an internet search to get all the specifics for that. Just please don't bring something from home that's electronic and plug it into an outlet here without checking first, because you don't want to ruin whatever your electronic item is. Also, if you're from a country where you have traditional clothing, we strongly recommend you bring a traditional outfit with you from home. Every spring, our office, along with our intercultural student organization, hosts a multicultural fashion show. And we love it when our students from around the world participate. So please bring something you can wear, or you can also perform. So be prepared and think about that as you're packing for your journey here to GSU. Remember that there are plenty of places in the US where you can buy items that you need, so you do not need to try to pack everything with you. Don't worry about packing school supplies such as pens and paper. You know, we can get those here pretty easily. There's a Walmart very close to campus. If you're living in the campus housing, Prairie Place, there is a shuttle that runs to the Walmart every weekend. So it'll be very easy for you to go and pick up any kinds of school supplies or other household essentials that you might want for your dorm room. It's also important to remember, do not overpack. You are going to have to transport your bags from the airport, possibly O'Hare Airport, to GSU or to your housing by yourself. Bags that are very heavy could be cumbersome if you're dealing with Chicago's public transportation. So make sure that you're able to handle your luggage by yourself. Don't overpack. You can buy things that you need here. Just bring the essentials with you, the things that you can't live without. Also remember that you cannot pack all types of food and bring them into the US. If you have a snack that you really enjoy from home, you might be able to bring it in the US, but you need to check the airline's website or the US Customs website to find out what food items are allowed into the US. Usually items such as dairy or meat-based products are not allowed, but there are some pretty interesting restrictions and allowances. So please research that before you pack any food items into your suitcase. GSU is located very close to Chicago, and Chicago has a lot of ethnic grocery stores from all around the world, so I'm sure you can find some of your favorite products and snacks and foods from home very easily in Chicago.
Okay. So today we've tried to give you some tips all the way from paperwork to packing for your experience in the United States, and we hope that you found this helpful. We are really looking forward to having you as a student at Governor State University. We want to wish you the best in your visa interview and in your packing process, and we really look forward to seeing you on our campus very soon.
If you have any questions, please email us at ois@govst.edu. Thank you. Have a good day.